Hi, I'm Susan Waters from Exceeding Joy. In Exodus chapter 16, the Israelites had left Egypt and God was leading them out towards the promised land. And in verse 2 to 3, it says, the whole company of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. The Israelites said, why didn't God let us die in comfort in Egypt, where we had lamb stew and all the bread we could eat? You've brought us into the wilderness to starve us to death, the whole company of Israel. Now it's interesting because God was feeding the Israelites manna. And the manna was like a cracker with honey, and it was a spiritual food like we didn't have on earth. God just caused it to come down every day. So he was meeting their needs. It's funny that when they didn't like how God met their need, they looked back to Israel, or to Egypt. They were enslaved, in slavery. They were in bondage in Egypt. As slaves, they were worked hard, and it was a very harsh life. And their food, like maybe it was a little more variety than the manna, but it's interesting that I find a similarity between the Israelites of the Old Testament and us today, because we don't like something in our life and we look back and think it looks so good, and yet we forget how bad it was. So I want to encourage you today, as I encourage myself, to look to God and trust God that he has the best plan for our lives. Trust him and know that he loves us and he desires to bless us and lead us into greater freedom. He doesn't want us to go back into bondage. So be blessed today as you connect with him. We'll see you tomorrow.